we're in a weird spot with this series where we just concluded a really big arc and we kind of just had an entire episode dedicated to winding down and having conversations and showcasing the growth and stuff that we see between characters after the fact. So with all of that out of the way, what does that leave us? The only things that come to mind immediately for me is two options. One being, let's introduce some new characters, let's set up a bunch of stuff, and then if there's another season, it like leads right perfectly into it, or it leads you a position where you're more intrigued to go and buy the manga because you want to see what happens now, based on kind of where they leave you. The other option is let's just do some random like day-to-day kind of things, and patrol the town and maybe do those things, but don't really have to go anything too crazy or set anything up like too crazy like story-wise, and fighting against other groups and a whole bunch of new characters and stuff coming involved. So those are the two things that kind of come to mind for me. My assumption would be the first of the two, though, I think was most likely. So we'll see, I guess, if any of that happens. I actually have no idea. I am excited, though, because even last episode, just winding down a little bit is pretty fun regardless, and I'm enjoying myself quite a bit, so it doesn't really matter, but I am excited regardless. So if you like it all, like and subscribe to me, and all that to me, feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave me comments with this episode of series. Let's go on with the 11th episode of Windbreaker. Still in pain. I mean, I get it. I get it.
お前はそれができるやつだし、受け入れたいとも思ってるように見える。
Already taken that first step. Why are you greeting me in the morning?
なんだお前らいつから。ずっとスオさんと呼んでましたよ。考え事ですか？お前は何をニヤニヤしてやがる。え？ニヤニヤしてたのはさくらくんじゃないか。面白かったよ。ニヤニヤなんかしてる。
Brad's just happy to have some friends. He doesn't want to admit it. One of these days, he'll be okay. Gonna tell us all about it. Yeah, like the heroes. And to think, only 5 of you. Yeah, tell him, you took notes and everything too, you know? Tell him about it. Oh, who the hell are you? Oh my god. Sure. Sugi. So, introduction towards other members that they flashed us towards, and we didn't actually get to see. Looks like high energy fun. He might be. He's got the physical build, you know. That's my brother. Not everybody wants to fight. Okay, buddy.
本当なら一昨日聞きたかったんやけど、筋トレが終わっとらんかってん。現れる。こんなおもろいもん使う方が損やで。考えはその人を表しますよね。杉浦さんも靴は右から履くとか、プロテインはサカスしか飲まないとか決めてるんですよね。
He's like, why do you know that?
おお、そのノート。あんたちっこいがごっつい美学持っていそうやな。いやいや、そんな謙遜することはないで。なんなんだ。
I don't know. Well, it's nice that he has some friends who don't pick on him entirely. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Let's just say that. They are not gonna get along. Who said we were going? No. I don't want to go. I wouldn't go. Yeah. Hello, pink hair boy. What was he listening to? Nice. Nice.
ミレ君意外に強引だね。ここが杉浦さんの
Nice.
鹿の店。
That makes sense. That makes so much
こんな
sense.
店で本当にうまいもん食えんのかよ。
We're about to find out.
さくら君腹減っとるん？わしのおすすめはプロ
Well, it looks promising.
写真はうまそうに見える。さくら君単純でいいな。俺は
Honestly, it's a great way to live by. It'll look good on my eating.
前せやったら喧嘩しようが。
That's how I'll find out.
おとといてっぺん取るって言うとった君はかっこよかったで。みんなの前であない大層なこと言い切れるやつに美学がないわけない。言わんちゅうのも美学なんかもしれんが、なら
Listen, you can ask him all you want, but I don't think he knows the answer himself. So the problem is you're gonna have to determine it and figure all that out on your own here.
すごい。面白いとこ
Pink boy?
ったな。
Oh,
でもまあここなら。
who was that?
およ。
Who was he with?
やあやあみんな偶然だね。
I kind of mess with him though.
桐生君やないか。どうや一緒に。
それじゃあね。
I'd rather not.
さんだ。あ、そっちなんだね。どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。
Oh, what a nice guy. A gentleman.
俺調べでの1の1強者5人中の4。
Okay, I was wondering what he was like so thrilled about.
ニレイ君よかったわ。
Makes
さ
sense.
くらくん。5人の中に入ってるよ。
あいつどれくらい強いんだよ。
よくぞ聞いてくれました。
Stronger than you,
お坊
buddy.
ちゃま校で有名なカンナ中だったらしいですが、中1の時有名な不良校の3年生たちを
Jesus. It looks entirely different too.
こう正解女子の制服ですね。彼女さんですかね。
そういうんじゃねえ。
さくらくんは2人の関係を考えないように必死なんだよ。
でみんなで話さへん。お姉ちゃんも一緒に。
余計なことしてんじゃねえ。
さくらくんが桐生くんのこと。
Yeah, just put him out. Put him on blast. Yo.
ああ、君さくらちゃんって言うんだ。ごめん、顔は。
Sorry, I didn't even know you.
名前までは。スギちゃんとやり合った子でしょ。
Listen, I gotta say that would be weird though. Being in his position and being like this other person wants to learn about me seems a little weird, but alright. I guess we're down.
決まった？
なんか俺恥かいただけじゃね。
そんなことないよ。
Yeah.
興味関心は人それぞれだから。
一緒に喋ったらええやん。な
It's the polar opposite in personality between them.
大丈夫だよ。一応俺と同じ風鈴だから。でも怖いよね。
I'll have to settle it for you.
やめてくれる？
あ、何を？
つがちゃんさ。
わしは告げ浦や。
Okay.
つげちゃんさ。自分がどう見えてるか考えたことある？
はあ？どうそのままやろ。
Nope.
つげちゃんは体も大きいし力も強そうだ。
You talk very loud. Act very confident. Right.
この子はたまんないんじゃない？
Step outside yourself for a
そ
minute,
んな
brother.
んじゃ女の子にモテないよ。
Not even that, but you scared off or push away a lot of people.
そうか、そりゃすまんかったわ。素直。
Oh, I took it more as he was
ちょっ
imitating.
と騒がしいから別
It
の
doesn't matter. I thought he was imitating him though.
ほんまごめんやで。
めっちゃ小声。
I love characters who have like the rough exteriors. And then they're just like really sweet guys, but they're also like fucking demons.
さっきはよくもやって
This poor girl, dude.
やってたのはそっちでしょ。
She's having a rough outing. So he took her from them?
普通に絡まれてるところ
Gotcha.
を通りかかって一発かまして逃げてるところだったんだよ。
おう。
それがこれだけ引き連れて探してたとはどんだけねちっこいのよ。
That's insane,
彼女さ
dude.
んではなかったようですね。
そうだね。
桐生くん、かっこええやないか。
Fighting for justice.
ありがと
Thanks,
君
brother.
の美学は女の子をいたわるっちゅうこと。
I think just like in general.
じゃないから。
おいオレンジ坊主、俺がピンク頭に用があんだよ。
言わないところもまだ渋くて
I love when we call people by their hair
聞いてん
color.
のかおい。
つげちゃん。
Orange boy.
なめやがって。
The boys step in.
たくよ。大勢で囲むとかダセえことしやがって。
Like, what was her relation in general to him that forced him to go out and get a gang of fucking 40 dudes to go look for her again? Like, after he was being fucking weird, you know? Like, logically, I'm not sure where he was lining up here or where any of them are standing here on the morality scale, but I guess why Orange Boy's here, I guess, right?
ま、サクッと片付けちゃいましょう。
Let's make quick work of this.
よっしゃーこやー
What? We're about to find some bullshit out about him, like he's a pacifist or something. Oh no.
ザバかよ。一遍死んどけ。
わしはな、まず相手に一発もらうって決めてんねん。そしたら今度は
Okay.
わしの番や。
Eyes. Yeah, taking some of them wrestling moves.
相手を見せた上で自分を見せる。それがわしの美学や。
Sure.
絶対あいつ
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad everyone else sees it.
危ねえな。なんでこっち飛ばすんだよ。
あ、ごめん。
You can take him out.
飛ばした
Come
方が早く片付くかな。
Right.
と思って
on. I swiftly move him and then the order of operations. We're like factory workers. Oh, really fun.
そんなに後ろに気を使わなくても大丈夫だよ。
Yeah, we got you.
俺がいるから。
はーい。
あいつ。
I love both of them hiding behind them. Nice and smooth.
おお、そうちゃんすごい。噂通りだ。
あいつ、あそこに人を近づけないようにしてた。
What a gentleman.
切れたんじゃ。
I would have been fine, but thanks.
上等だ。全部こっち回せ。
さくらちゃん優しい。
お前のためじゃねえ。
I love when they tease him.
がいいんだよ。わしも、わしにも。
And that makes work of that. Nice. Well done, everybody. Well done.
工場？
暴風林の工場やがな。いっちゃんかっこええとこ譲ったるわ。
さくらさんは町の外から来たので知らないと思います。
Oh, there you go. You can teach them.
人を傷つける者、物を壊す者、悪意を持ち込む者、何人も例外なく暴風林が粛清する。
I love that as a thing to shout afterwards. It's the thing we've been seeing. Yeah.
ま、そう
We
いう
saw
ことだ
something, I think, in like the
から
first episode of it, too. Not even just them
力が
shouting
あ
it.
るなら今度からはいいことに使おうね。
Mm. It's essentially all the story is, if we're being honest. A bunch of colorful characters mixed in who just essentially make people not use their power and strength for the wrong things, you know? It's just a group of guys who use it for the right things.
本当にありがとうございました。
気をつけてね。
級長。
それよりさくらちゃんさ、連絡先教えて。
I like his phone case.
俺も知りたいっす。
どうやればいいんだこれ。
貸して貸して。てかなんで顔赤いの？
First time, he's embarrassed. Come on.
出てないのか。
Aw.
じゃあ番号。
You have no contacts either.
一件。天気。
Huh.
なんだよ。
さっきから何
Ah, there she is. The highlight of my episode.
なんだよ急に。
The highlight of my Thursdays.
つうか早く食べなさいよ。遅刻するわよ。
Aw,
早く返せ。
私のも入れといたから。
that's a W. That's a W. We're in. We're so in. We're so in. That's elite.
学校行けば顔を合わせんのにスマホでやりとり。
He's new to, you know, he doesn't know any of this. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Oh. Can't keep up. Not built for it. Jesus Christ. We're devoured though.
おはようさん。
We increased the friend circle.
ねえなんで怒ってんすか？
そもそもなんでここで言えばいいことわざわざメッセージでよこすんだよ。
便利じゃんねチャット。
That is.
級長と副級長たちだ。
俺注
Bro,
文。
what is bro's hair in the back?
確かあの時に。
くすみさんに
Bro, his hair is insane.
間近で見れるとは。
なんだこいつ。一人だけやる気ねえな。お前らには今から級長を決めてもらう。
I love how they do that. The subs.
そのクラスの問題はそいつの責任になる。次戦他戦は問わねえ。ちゃっちゃと決める。つまり級長ってのはこのクラスのてっぺん的な。
That's a way to look at it for
あい
sure.
つみてえなやつのことか。
No, he's just the captain.
立候補かいな。
こいつがそういう
He's volunteering you.
出るとはな
Yep.
さくらくんがいいと思います。
It'd be a good experience. In typical Windbreaker fashion, we have a fun episode. they do a good job at it. They really do. I don't know. I enjoy these a lot. Like just even the laid back and typical ones, like standard things like this. There's nothing too crazy. There's nothing too deep or meaningful, I would say, really behind a lot of the characters or characterization and stuff they're trying to give the people. There's no real like deep message or anything that I feel like I come out of this episode like really grabbing onto and anything. But I had a lot of fun, you know? I think it's just a simple fact of like people who are very different meshing kind of very well together, you know, and it's the groups of people who like see these things and they can understand and feel out somebody like Sakura, so it's easy for them to kind of tease him and mess around with him in certain moments and say things that and do things that they know are going to get him flustered. And it's the same thing with somebody like Neri, where they know like the way he acts and when it comes to a lot of different scenarios and stuff, and they can say things to kind of rile him up a little bit. It's like just knowing the other person, figuring that out, working together with each other, or making like these like simple comments and stuff, and they all work themselves out to be extremely nice and all complement each other extremely well. Plus it's also just a really just fun story in general of watching somebody go from like zero to like everything in a way, right? From having this empty unfulfilled life essentially to being completely surrounded by people who care for him or willing to help protect him, not that he needs it, but if the time ended up coming, watch out for him, want to be his friend, and like seeing him kind of go through the stages and process of like gaining all these things that he's been his entire life really without, I think is fucking cool, and it's really fun to see. And I think they do a quality job at kind of bringing all of that stuff together. We introduced 2 new characters, which honestly, now that we are expanding it and taking a step back, I think this actually makes a lot more sense. Because I was like, we got 2 more episodes after this, so it's like, what are we gonna do from here? You know what I mean? Like, where do we go in this scenario? Because we can just set something up, or we can have like a mini arc, but it's like, what exactly is their plan? Which it seems like we're gonna go mini arc route of class captain or whatever. So elections essentially is what we're gonna have to do, and whatever the circumstances is for that, whether it's just like pleading your case to others and getting votes for it, or whether it's like us actually having to prove it physically in some sort of way. I don't know what it is. But whatever they end up going down for that path, that seems to be the mini arc that we're kind of setting up. But it makes sense, once again, if I can track back here, to taking that step back and realizing on the bigger picture of 10 episodes now, we've been through like 3 days. Really, like we really haven't passed that much time. So because that one arc took so long, it feels like we have, but we really haven't. So this is essentially still his first like week or so, essentially within the city, within this school, within this group. So he's still getting accustomed to all these things. He's still learning these things, and he's able to gain all these new experiences and stuff out of it too, which is really fun. And we get to see, especially by the end of gaining like a bunch of contact info and like really solidifying his friendships and stuff with people, which is awesome. But being able just to see him kind of get accustomed to all those things and see all the things that he's been lacking and missing throughout his entire life up to this point is a nice pacing for us to be at. And also now bringing in the other members that we hinted towards episode like 2 or something, right? And being able to flash all of them slightly into here and slowly get us into them, integrate them into the group as well, and have us understand them a little bit, even if it's just surface level for right now. All of that like tracks and makes sense, because those are things typically you would set up and do early, very early. But the problem is we had an arc before then, so it's just like the pacing of it, just due to the placement of the way that we did these things. And this isn't like a complaint or anything, but it's just because of that we have to do this stuff kind of now, and it leaves you questioning almost of like what's next. But oh, we still have to meet and do all these people, like do all these things. So honestly, I think it kind of works. And essentially doing this as like these class reps and stuff, especially because it's like so new for us and new for Sakura as well, I think works as like a nice segue after that to do something probably a less like emotional stakes and everything, and ending things on like a positive thing of unifying the entire group and unifying the class and everybody by the back end of the season. That'll lead us forward into whatever they would do for a second one, or would lead us into whatever you would get into with the manga, which I think is a quality thing for them to get into. Sakura blushes and gets embarrassed so much this episode. so much. I love everybody wanting to hear stories and figure out about it. We meet our first of friends, as they mentioned and referenced in the episode, or I'm going to call them by the hair colors. So we got Orange Boy here, the first of friends. He's into wrestling, he's into protein and weightlifting and being loud and energetic and everything he is. And he's interesting for what he is. While most of these people aren't like fleshed out entirely, and we have them at a certain level, trying to essentially, I think his big deal here is figuring out what gets people going. He has certain things that get him going, and because of that, he utilizes his own interest, I guess, or his own, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but he's essentially just trying to create this group of people who can be like comfortable around each other, and also trying to just be that type of person who wants to be friendly with everybody, who wants to like have that in with everybody, and not in a sort of way where he's trying to figure out info and like do all this like crazy shit where like some people might and try and gain connections and stuff through there. But he just seems like somebody who wants to kind of be on the good side of everybody and can kind of help like raise spirits and do things. He's like your big old cheerleader at the end of the day, which I mean, it's fun, you know. You always got to have one of those like loud, like energetic people that kind of join the group. So I think it's awesome introducing somebody like this, and that's all he's trying to do here, especially with Sakura, is figuring out exactly what makes him drive, who exactly he is, how he got to the position that he's in, why he's in this position that he's in, and kind of tie all of this stuff into each other, which I think it makes sense. But at the same time, that's not how especially first meetings and going through all this stuff typically works with a lot of people. So trying to cram all those things in and trying to boil down like to what a single person is into like almost a single term or a single thing, it doesn't really work for most people, and especially the first time that you kind of meet them. So it's a little bit hard. And then we also get the just kind of note that Sakura is not that kind of person, that he essentially just has like that single thing, while he keeps telling himself and telling us, you know, he wants to get to the top and he's just trying to become the strongest and stuff. You can't really just narrow everything down that he does for that, because there's a broad reasons of like what he's going to do and why he's going to do it, and actually get to that position, which come down to like a whole bunch of different things, such as like wanting to possibly protect people and do all these things. And plus he struggles with honesty and everything towards him own self. How's he going to be honest and expose that towards somebody else, you know, like, and they can fully understand you? That's not going to happen. But of course everybody on the outside really sees through him, except for our orange haired boy. Flashes towards pink boy at some point, but we don't fully get it. I really like Neria immediately being friends with him, because that just makes sense to kind of a kind. It really works out, and nobody having an interest of going out with them or doing anything. and just wanting to not be with them, but he drags us anyways. We go out, we get some food. It's a cool environment, which really showcases a lot about himself and his own personality, which I really like. And then Pink Boy shows up with a girl, which gets everybody questioning, gets you wondering the relationship between the two of them. I immediately had that as well. I thought we were going bait of this is sister. That's kind of where my immediate vibe was, just due to the I don't know, it's the first place my mind went. And then we got the flashback and he went black hair and I was like, yeah, that's gonna be it. And it wasn't. Honestly, I'm kind of happy that it wasn't, but it works out. And we learn a little bit. There's some stuff there. There's some history that kind of comes down to things between him and Suo, which is also pretty cool. And we'll figure that out at some other point. Or maybe it wasn't Suo. I don't remember. It was either him or Orange Hair Boy. I'll see when I edit. Actually, I can't remember. They were in reference like 9 times. That's on me. I should probably be remembering that. And then it's like issue immediately arises when Orange Boy comes over here and is like very loud, very vocal. First off, telling Sakura or telling him that Sakura wants to like get closer and understand and talk to him and stuff. And it's just like, especially when you're trying to make first impressions on somebody, that's not the way to approach it, and not have your friend like just barge in and do that. But maybe it is, you know, maybe because it gives you that in, and it's something that Sakura would never be able to like openly like state his own desires and stuff, because that's was kind of the person that he is. Maybe that's actually what he needs. But immediately the problem comes when he tries to bring the other two and constantly bring everyone in. He wants everyone to be a unit. He wants them all to be one. He wants them all to enjoy themselves together, when they clearly don't. Clearly she's very timid, which we've seen from the moment that she came in, and now being immediately like kind of startled by his own loud voice and him coming over and trying to drag them into things that of course she doesn't want to, when he's just trying to keep her out of, you know, what we're going to end up running into in the group of people that we end up finding, and kind of just protect her, keep her safe, and let her know that, you know, things are kind of okay right now. I love him immediately shutting her down though, and being like, nope, we don't fucking do that, buddy. You better calm down. And his voice just going so quiet at the time, which is great. We end up leaving, and then we have to run into a whole gang of people, which isn't great. I don't get their deal in the slightest. Dude walking away with a girl who's clearly terrified and doesn't want to be with them, so he's probably creeping or doing some things, and she doesn't want that, so we kind of rescue and save, which I get, beat him up or whatever, and then he comes back, almost retaliation on that guy, which makes plenty of sense there. Like it makes sense, and he recruited his boys, I guess, for that. But it's just like, if you were doing some weird shit and she clearly didn't want to be around, you probably can pick up on that cue on your own, I'd assume. And if you didn't, that's probably on you. But whatever. So they end up showing up, and we have to have a whole gang war of fighting. Reasons and stuff, not the most solid, but is what it is. I mean, I don't mind it. We don't need to develop and make like these grand groups of people that we're actually going against. My main concern or question would just kind of come from like, this isn't like a actual group or gang or something that they're introducing, so who really are they? Are they just literally this group of people who are residing within our own town here that we just have going around trying to be weird towards women and stuff? Like I don't fully get them, but all right. And then we work together. We have fun sequence really between everybody learning to fight together. Sakura taking the charge here. I love Suo just kind of standing there and be like, I'll just protect everybody else here. You guys focus on what you got to do. And I think they all work together extremely well, and they kind of just pick on each other too, or mess around a little bit with each other throughout it too, which is really fun, and immediately get through things, no issue. We send her on her way because things are now cleared up and good. And then we get some contact info and we share it, which is something I love. Sakura just being like, not knowing how to do it, asking or struggling to really get the words out and ask how, and then getting a little bit embarrassed of everybody seeing that he has nothing in there. Kotaha, best girl, shows up, and I love how she adds it. He's so in, you know, he doesn't even realize it. He's right there though. But to be fair, the boss might have some problems if we do anything, so we got to be a little careful there. But we'll see what ends up happening. I love him not being able to keep up with the text and losing his fucking mind. Stressed out completely over it, and then just yelling at them. And we set up the election. We introduce some elders. and their roles, and we get a nomination for the boy, which makes plenty of sense because he doesn't fully get it. You know, they're trying to set up a leader, somebody who's there at all costs to protect, always going to be fighting, gives him the opportunity to do that, but protect the people that kind of work under him, work at the same grade level as him, and that are kind of close to him, which is things that we do see he deeply does care about, and he actually will go out of his way, and he's using his strength and everything for good. It works pretty well, and he doesn't really want to kind of understand that entirely, or he struggles to really get it into his own head and accept that, which was a big theme, especially from the beginning here, of his own acceptance towards a lot of things. So it makes plenty of sense that we're kind of putting him in this scenario now. It was fun, as I said. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I hope you guys did as well. If you liked it all, like and subscribe to me. Not to me, feel free to check out the videos and channel. The comments of this series. I'll be back for episode 12 next week. It was a great one. Peace.